What's next is the next episode.
It is the next episode. Well, what? Okay.
Dude. It's like, I think you're just trying to scare them now.
I don't know. I'm just trying to pre-fire.
You pre-firing is too loud and you're scaring you scared me when we played freaking Little Nightmares unnecessarily. And I think you're gonna scare some of the people watching.
I'm just stressing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see?
I mean, knowing for you, yeah, it makes sense.
The big question now is what the rest of the curse bearers are up to. Luckily, the Sumida River is a good distance from any of the 7 mysteries. It's unlikely the other curse bearers will come all the way here. I can finally have a moment to think.
I see. Alright.
Spend?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot currently progress any further. Once your situation has changed, select resume to try again. Pressing suspend will turn you to the story chat.
So yeah. So now
Also, we have to go here.
Yeah, because we're progress. It's a whole story where it connects with 3 different characters.
Oh, okay. It was cute.
You want to do this one or the other one?
I think last time we were here, I was like top to bottom, so...
You can pick whatever. They're all gonna progress the same anyway.
Yeah. Let's go Tetsuo. Tetsuo Tsutsumi, Chief Inspector of the Metropolitan Police Department, 1st Investigative Division, is investigating the mysterious death of a fellow officer. He visits the scene of the incident, the former Yasuda Gardens, from his subordinate Jun Erio. With his subordinate. 11 p.m. Former Yasuda Gardens. Oh, we were here before. Let's throw our lighter.
Wait, this is before we threw the lighter.
Yeah. Oh, were you both of them, or was I?
No, you're the young man. You're the young man who jump scared you.
Okay. Hey, boss. Forensics is all done. The crime scene is clean. The other officers have all gone home. It's just us now. The park should be able to open back up tomorrow like nothing ever happened.
I doubt it. It'll get many visitors after everything that's happened.
You'd be surprised. Lots of people love that kind of thing. I bet they'll be lining up to get in. Occult stuff is really popular right now. Did you not know that, boss?
Sounds stupid.
Well, it's not exactly rooted in science, but... if ghosts really did exist, we could just ask them who the perp is.
Somehow, I doubt that it'd be that simple.
Oh, but you know, I've heard that high school girls are really into the spirit board thing these days. Supposedly you can call on spirits and talk to them by using a board with letters on it. Wouldn't that be something?
You can try it out yourself if you're interested. If you're so interested.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. Let's give it a go sometime, boss.
What now? Stop messing around. You really think we're gonna solve this case by moving a coin across some scrap of paper?
Sounds like you know all about it. We've got to be open-minded. What if that's how police work is going to be fun from now on?
Don't make me laugh. Listen up, Erio. You can't go blaming the death of your buddy on something like the occult.
I don't care if it was ghosts or the occult or what. Whoever or whatever it was that did this, I'll get them. I promise you that.
Well, you've got the right attitude, but we don't even know if this is a murder yet. Biases weaken our judgment. Get too fixated on one thing and you stop seeing everything else.
Aye, aye, boss. So, now that we've finished investigating the scene, let's review what we know.
Now it's getting late. I figured we'd head straight home from here.
Come on, we've got to go over all the info we've gathered. And what better place to do that than here at the scene of the crime where we can soak up the atmosphere?
Soak up the atmosphere. The hell's what the hell is there to soak up? You must be really into the occult stuff if you get off on being in a place like this.
Wait, you mean being somewhere like this doesn't get your blood pumping? No way.
I'm I'm old. I'm gonna die of a heart attack. No, no, don't turn this around on me. I'm not the weird one here. Cripes. Oh, fine. Let's get this over with.
Aye aye, boss. The former Yasuda Gardens here in Yokohama Ichome were originally built as a part of Daimyo's estate back in the Edo period. The park became city property a number of years ago and underwent extensive renovations. There's not a soul around at this time of night. Quiet doesn't even begin to describe it. This pond, they say it used to flow into the Sumida River, but the river became so polluted that they cut it off. Jun Erio, a detective in the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department. First investigative decision. His rank is sergeant. This is his first time leading a case. It's like he graduated from rookie to newbie. He looks put together on the outside, but acts like a kid most of the time. Honestly, the force could use more people like him. So, early in the morning yesterday, a staff member found the victim collapsed here in the park and called the police when they realized he was dead. Well, there was no obvious external wounds. The fact that he was a police officer and the evidence of a struggle means it's likely that this was a murder. The Sumida office sent it over to us since it involved the death of an officer, and we were tasked with the investigation. What we need to do is figure out what happened and whether there was foul play involved. I think that about sums things up. Ooh, okay. About us? About the victim. The victim is Hajime Yoshimi of the Juvenile Division of Sumida City Community Safety Bureau. 27 years old, single. He mostly dealt with cases involving juveniles and education. His rank was senior police officer.
You knew him well, didn't you? What was he like?
Yes, we were in the academy together. We still went out for drinks together every month or two. He could be a little rowdy, but he was like a big brother to us all. He was kind and cared about his friends. For better or worse, he wasn't the uptight type of cop. The man always showed empathy, and I heard he was popular with the locals for it. He treated each and every troubled kid that he met with compassion. He had a great track record when it came to rehabilitation.
Sounds like we lost a good one.
Yes, we did. We truly did. I knew being a cop was dangerous. I knew something like this could happen, but...
It's never easy when it happens for real. I know the feeling.
He didn't seem to care much about climbing the ranks, but he was at the top of our class. Only problem was that he took on so much, he had the most unfinished paperwork too. I always felt we'd need an unusual guy like him to help us solve all our unusual cases.
Don't worry, you're plenty unusual yourself.
Me? I was the most normal of my classmates. Besides, the real weirdo among us quit the academy a long time ago.
There was one even weirder than you.
Bro.
No, now you're the one talking a lot.
But, boss?
Yeah.
In this case, is this case really important enough to assign to someone from the investigation division? I mean, a friend of mine died, so it's important to me, but...
It's all up to the higher-ups. I'm sure they've got their reasons.
Boss, you know something, don't you?
It'll all be clearer in time. Try not to worry about it too much.
Thinking about it, the only thing we know for sure is the identity of the victim. That means there must have been something special about him, right? Maybe he knew something he wasn't supposed to. Some kind of secret or something? Isn't that right?
Pretty sharp sometimes, you know? You know that? If you picked up on that, you should be able to put the rest together yourself.
Well, it is our duty to get to the bottom of a suspicious death, especially one involving an officer. Hajime was quite the bad boy in school, apparently. He ended up with the police a lot. He said the officer in charge was good to him, helped him get back on track. The reason he wanted to become a cop was to pay the kindness forward. Said it was the first time he ever took his studies seriously.
That's a good story. Love that kind of thing. Makes me wanna have a drink in his honor.
Please don't make fun of my dead friend.
Not. Oh man. I said in his honor. You should aspire to become a kind of cop people miss when they die in the field.
You say that like it's a sure thing I'll die. Besides, if I end up biting it, I'm sure you'll be the one who misses me most, boss.
Yeah.
Come on, don't be like that. You'll hurt morale.
Well, I guess how much I miss you depends on how this investigation goes.
I can already see it. Erio, no! Why don't you have to go and get yourself killed?
I have no idea what's going on in your head going on in that head of yours. You need some sleep.
Yeah, that'll be a sight to see. I can't wait.
I can't wait to sleep. You can't wait for your own death? Get it together, kid. Sheesh, you really are something.
Thank you.
What about the victim's family?
The Yoshimi family is from Kita-senju in Adachi City, but Hajime's parents died a long time ago. He lived there all alone, no siblings or anything. I went to his house a few times for drinks. I was surprised. It's this huge, old-looking place. Like, you know, the kind of place that seems super haunted.
And he lived there alone?
It looked like the home of an old noble family. It was hard to imagine him being such a delinquent living in a house like that.
There's that bias I was talking about. If he's from an old family, I'm sure things were complicated.
That's a bias too. We never talk about any of that, even when we were drunk, so I don't know much about it. Oh, one more thing.
Yeah?
Hajime was engaged. I thought he was single. He'd been seeing his fiancée ever since they were in school, over 10 years. They just oh, maybe he's filed as single. They just started talking about getting married. What was her name again? He showed me a picture once. She was a beautiful woman.
That's so. How terrible for her. But she may know if there'd be anything going on with him lately. We should speak to her.
Yeah, his fiancée may have been his only confidant. I'm sure someone at the Sumida Police Department has already contacted her. I'll look into it tomorrow. Hey boss. I looked into the case that Hajime was running.
Oh great, that's the kind of stuff I want to know. What was Hajime working on the day he died?
Well, according to his report from the day before, he had 2 cases involving juveniles.
Uh-huh.
The first was the suicide of a high school girl who jumped off a building in Kamezawa last week.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Oh. The girl's...
Fuck.
Fuck, dude. These transitions. The girl's name was Michio Shiraishi. She was a second-year student at Komagata High School. But it seems as though Hajime had contact with her even before this incident.
She dropped her jar of jelly.
Yeah, what the heck? Be careful.
That's expensive. And why are you laying down on it?
Yeah, what the heck? Your clothes!
Oh, great. You gotta get that cleaned again. So she'd been troubled for some time.
That's the thing. About a month ago, he happened to see her walking around town. She looked upset, so he struck up a conversation with her. He was sure there was something bothering her, but she wouldn't tell him what.
Must have been trouble at home.
That's what he thought too. It seems he visited her home and spoke to her parents, but they said there was no problem, so there was nothing else he could do. And now she's dead.
Then it's possible he could have prevented her suicide then.
He must have been devastated. And that's why he was looking into this Michio Shiraishi again. He must have thought something terrible had happened that drove her to end her life. But ultimately, he never reported the findings of his investigation.
I see. You're thinking that must have had something to do with his death. Well, we'll have to find out what it is Hajime discovered.
Right. Let's check with the Sumida Police Department about that tomorrow too.
And what was the other case he was working on? Or what he was working?
This one is also related to a Komagata High School student. A troublemaker named Hitomi Okuda. She seems to be the leader of a group of kids who get up to no good.
Juvenile delinquency. What?
It was pretty bad for a while. Multiple charges of destruction of property, assault, and battery, you name it.
Jesus.
Gosh, dang. A high schooler?
I guess.
Hajime had been working with her for about 6 months, and she was finally starting to open up. Then he met with the girl the day he died. Huh?
Well, every school's got its problems. But I'm sure he'd be worried about how she'd get on without him.
Right, just when she'd finally found an adult she could trust. She might act out without someone to help her get through this.
We'll have to make sure the Sumida Community Safety Bureau does their job. But we can't rule out the possibility that meeting with this delinquent girl has something to do with his death. We'll have to interview her too.
Ah, yes, you're right. She may have been the last person to see him alive after all. I'll ask Sumida to introduce us tomorrow. Though, who knows if they'll actually let us talk with her.
That's what we hired you for. Lay a little boyish charm on them and if they need convincing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'd prefer me to cover a scary-looking old man like you. Prefer me over a scary-looking old man like you, boss.
Watch it. I'm still your superior. You ought to act like you respect me, at least.
Oh, I thought I was.
You were? Shit, is this how your generation speaks? You really are a new breed.
It's probably just me, actually.
Oh, well, don't think you can get away with that with other people.
So, anyways, boss.
Have you even listening?
We've got quite a bit to look into tomorrow. First, the two Komagata High School cases that Hajime was handling. And we need to speak with his fiancée as well. I believe that's it for tomorrow. As for the cause of death, we don't know until the autopsy is done. From what we've seen though, it did appear to be some kind of acute heart failure. And since he had no record of chronic illness and he had no visible wounds, it's possible that poison or drugs could have been involved.
Dying in the middle of the park like that certainly seems suspicious.
We found signs of a struggle at the scene, as well as footsteps belonging to an unidentified individual. We've got people trying to identify those prints.
If we could find who they belong to, we might be able to figure out this whole thing out.
Yes, wouldn't that be nice if that were the end of it? The only things Hajime had on him were his badge and his wallet in his pockets.
So we can rule out a mugging. Though there probably aren't many people who would think to try mugging a cop as big as him.
I've also heard that Hajime got into a fair few fights in his younger days. He started judo once he became an officer and rose up the ranks quickly.
Sounds like the prep would have been pretty strong to take on Hajime.
Time of death was around 11 p.m. 2 days ago, outside of the park's operating hours, of course. His body was found early in the morning yesterday.
11 p.m. the day before yesterday? What was Hajime doing here at the time like that in the first place?
That's the question, isn't it? The entrance to the park is closed after hours, but it's a small gate that'd be fairly easy for him to get through if he really wanted to. That would, of course, be breaking and entering, but what do you think, boss?
It's hard to imagine a cop like Hajime would trespass for no reason. And since it seems like someone else was here with him, could they have called him here?
Oh, that does seem likely.
They must have been talking about something pretty sensitive to come here in the middle of the night. So Hajime met someone here to discuss something in secret.
And then they got into a fight?
No, that wouldn't match the cause of death. There were no wounds on his body that would indicate a spontaneous scuffle. The perp must have planned something.
Then you think it was meditated? That would mean they called Hajime to the park with the intent to kill him? Does that mean I got it right? Or like...
Oh, that...
Or is that just a reveal?
No, those are reveals.
Okay.
When you get it right, you hear that sound. But if you get it right, you hear a ding.
Oh, okay.
But those... That trail going upwards is what's it called? That's quote-unquote reveal.
Okay.
Well, there's still a possibility that this was some kind of accident. Maybe the perp tried to threaten Hajime because it was the end of the episode. We shall see you guys next time.
See ya.